Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friend here, Raz's Retro, and I hope everyone is remaining retro. Today's edition of Time to Retro is Top Gear 2, and the reason we're playing Top Gear 2 is very simple. Um, I decided that I wanted to share this game. I didn't really know how I was gonna go about it, but essentially, when I decided to do, these Time to Retro episodes, I figured this would be the best way to share Top Gear 2. It's not a game that I owned a physical copy of. We had it on one of the emulation consoles at the time, which was basically a Super Nintendo, and it had a Super Nintendo cartridge. I'm going to use the word glued into it. But I don't know if that's the proper term. But basically, it had about 700 plus Super Nintendo games and Super Famicom games. I think about 45. But anyways, this was basically the last game that I saw my brother Shan play. The last retro game, that is. Now I repeat, that's the last that I saw him play. Could be possible he played something else, but with my own eyes, I could say maybe 2 weeks prior to him passing away, I remember seeing him play Top Gear 2, and he was playing it quite a bit. So I just wanted to, talk about, I guess, what I remember seeing, and I guess what this game, kind of means to me now. Um, we've played it before too. Like I said, we never owned it, but renting. I think even at one point we borrowed it from somebody. Definitely, playing it a lot on emulation consoles. But when we had that Super Nintendo that had that basically emulated about 700 plus games, we basically had that for I think about a year or two. And when he passed away, because obviously I wasn't able to keep everything, and it wasn't anything like too special. I mean, it was just an emulation console that I bought for a good price, and because I wanted to keep things that were more attached to him, because this was something that I bought myself. I decided to part ways with it. Uh, Maybe 3 months after he passed away. Um, I kind of wish I kept it just because it was a pretty cool console to have. It was beautiful too. It was painted in red and blue, and it had like a very Mario theme. And I could say 97% of the games did work. About 2% didn't, and some games they worked, but they just like they were just really bad, either with the sound or the quality or whatever the case was. In some cases they were very slow, but this was a game that he liked. I know for a fact he liked it a lot, and he was big on cars. He loved cars. He loved racing game. He was a car guy. I like racing games too. It's not my favorite genre. I mean, it's a genre that I like a lot, but I wasn't as good as he was. And I'm not a car guy. I mean, I like cars, but I'm not like crazy about cars. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just remember seeing him play this quite often on that emulation console, and I would play with him too sometimes. Two players. A lot of times we just watch each other play, and you know, he was pretty good at it, so I wouldn't be able to make fun of him. At least not in this particular game. When I would play, and if I wasn't doing well, then yeah, he would throw some banter my way. Um, but yeah, I just remember he would play this quite often, and it was his way to kind of kick back and relax. Um, you know, During the time before his passing, he was stressing a lot. For those that might remember, or not remember, he was a real estate agent, and that field is a very stressful field, right? Um, so he was running around back and forth, and you know he would turn to either gaming or just watching a movie or watching a TV show just to kick back and relax. He didn't drink, he didn't do drugs or anything like that. He was a very simple guy, and he enjoyed the simple things in life. And I remember he played this, and I could see it sometimes. Like he just felt happy playing it. He might not be smiling, or he might not be like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy," but you could just see it that he's relaxed, he's happy, and he's enjoying himself. And you know, if he was alive today, this game would have some sort of special feeling for me, because I enjoy it too. And like I said, I would watch him play. He would watch me play. Sometimes we'd play together. But because it's the last memory I have of him playing a retro game, it will forever be special to me. And it is a good game, right? I mean, Top Gear 2, it's a solid racing game. It looks good, it sounds good, the sound effects. You know, uh, I've never beaten the game, but I'm guessing there's a lot of courses that you could play. Just for the purpose of this video, I'll probably just play the Australia Tour, which I think is about 4 races, if I qualify for each, that is. But he really he really enjoyed it. Just watching him play, I could see that he really enjoyed it. And because it's the last memory that I have seeing him playing a retro game, like I said, it'll forever be special. Could be possible he played something else after. I don't know. But from what I remember seeing him play, this was the last retro game that he played, the last video game that I saw him play, and I do believe that is the last one. Again, unless he played something else that I didn't see, was it was on our Xbox One. It was Saints Row, I think the third edition. It was like a special edition. Um, and yeah, like those two games, they have a special place in my heart now for sure. Um, if nobody's ever played this, I would definitely recommend it. Um, whether you like racing games or not, it's a really good game. It's levels, they're done very beautifully. Um, at this stage, I would have some trouble with it because it's nighttime. I'm 73 years old, so it's hard to see. But he would play this stage pretty well, and he liked it. I liked it too. This stage, and I think the following one, where I believe it's either raining or snowing. I think it's raining. We particularly enjoyed those two levels. Um, but yeah, I mean, for its time, I don't know exactly what year this came out in, right? Sometime early 90s, I presume. Like, it looks great. And I think it's a game that you could still enjoy today for sure. I would recommend it to anybody who, just likes video games, retro gaming, obviously, um, to give it a go. It's not too hard in terms of controlling your vehicle and getting the hang of it. Obviously, the conditions, the nighttime, the raining, as you progress in the game, it can become a little trickier, of course, like any video game. But it's a really cool game, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying, that like I wanted to share this game on my channel, and this was before I even started Time to Retro, but I just didn't really know how to go about it. Um, and then I realized that with my Time to Retro series, because it's about games that I've played, but I've never actually owned a physical copy, or in some cases that I've never played at all, right? Um, it fits perfectly because I didn't have a physical copy of it. On an emulation console, obviously that's not a physical copy, and I do have a memory of it. And as sad as it makes me when I think about it, it's also a beautiful thing too. It's a bittersweet feeling, as they say. The sweet part of it is that it brought him some happiness. It it was a way for him to kick back and relax, just like all of us. when we all play a video game or watch a movie or a TV show, when we have that time to ourselves, or if we're sharing it with a friend and family member. Um, that's the sweet part of these things. The bitter part, obviously, is that he's no longer with us, and that it was the last game that he played, last retro game, at least from what I saw. So it's it's a like I said, it's a game that'll be with me forever. Um, but it's a bittersweet feeling that I have towards it, and that's life. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about memories, right? Certain things we see, certain things we hear, certain things we experience. Oh, I remember doing that, or I remember doing that with whoever it is that we had in our life that passed away, whether it's your father, your brother, your mother, or whoever. Um, I remember like my I remember when we would game as like when we were younger. Sometimes our parents would complain, like, "Well, all you guys do is just sit down and tick 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 tick." That's what they would call it, because that's the sound of the buttons, right? When you're tapping on them. Um, but then I remember my father said this was during sometime during his passing. He wasn't talking about gaming. This was just like in general because Sean was somebody that would, like I said, he was a simple guy. You know, he was successful, but he kept things simple. And because of our culture, like I said, Sean lived with me. Uh, our parents, they live with us. They're of old age, so we take care of them. And my dad would say that he was he always he was always grateful to even have just us in front of him. You know, even if we weren't talking to our parents, not looking at our parents, we were in our own little world, playing our video games, watching our TV shows or movies. He was always grateful just to know that they're there right in front of his eyes. Um, and I think that's the beautiful thing about gaming is it's quality time spent at home and going outside, exploring the world. That is important. Everyone should do that if they're able to. Making friends, creating memories with friends. Those are all things that are very important, and everyone should try to do that, as long as you're safe and healthy. But I think the most, uh, I could be wrong, obviously, but I think the most special memories you can create, special moments you can create, is with your family, and that could also mean going outside and traveling with your family. Those are special too, of course. But it's those little moments at home, those little silly jokes, silly moments. Um, you know, just sitting back, taking it easy on a rainy day, as we see on this particular level, and just sometimes not even doing anything, but just being around the people that you love the most. Family and friends are God's greatest blessings in this world. And it's a shame nobody lives forever because when you lose something, um, things change drastically. But you learn to continue. You learn to be strong, and you learn to create memories for yourself, for the people that are still there, for your friends. Um, so that's why I always say always remain retro. It's not about just retro gaming or retro movies or retro TV shows or even the retro culture. And oh my god, I'm stuck on the grass. um, it's about it's okay to some people will be like, hey, don't live in the past. No, keep your memories. Remember the good times. Remember good things. Because when you're able to remember good things, you're able to continue to create new and good and beautiful memories. Um, so yeah, this is an episode I hope you guys. Well, I don't know if I'm going to say the word enjoy. It's a little more deep in topic, I guess, but I had to do this, and I wanted to do this. I just didn't know how. But for those that actually watched, the full or even half or even a bit, I really appreciate you. Always remain retro. Life is like a game. You decide how to play it. All you got to do is hit the start button. God bless. I love you all, and take care.